Hey guys, how's it going? Cheers back again with another episode of Chelsea Career Mode here on Xbox One. We're into episode number 67 today. And of course, after yesterday's thrilling cup game against Everton in the Capital One Cup in the snow, that went extra time. If you missed yesterday's episode, of course, as always, there's a link to take you to it as an annotation. The bottom left hand has... Oh, don't even know what that was. In the bottom left hand side of your picture. So definitely check that out. As you can see, we currently sit top of the Barclays Premier League table. The only team to remain unbeaten in the league so far this year. We're also unbeaten in the Champions League, and we haven't yet played in the FA Cup, so we don't know. Well, I guess technically we are unbeaten in the FA Cup because, of course, the third round will be where the Premier League sides join, and that won't happen until we get into the January transfer window. But today we've got Hull away from home, a decent side actually, a side that could potentially cause a few upsets if they were able to create the chances that they might need to give us some problems. But actually we were able to get off to a decent start. Actually, 24 minutes in, an emphatic acrobatic finish from Luis Muriel gives us a 1-0 lead. I wasn't really too sure whether to shoot with Andre Schürrle there or not. His first touch was a little bit looser than I wanted it to be, which kind of meant it raced away from him. So I kind of didn't have any option but to put that back across goal. But fortunately, Luis Muriel was there at the back post. He gambled, and the gamble paid off. We were able to go 1-0 up. Now, they got a free kick there that was well worked, actually, from the training ground, and it only flew over because of a deflection off the defender. We can't quite clear our lines properly here from the resulting corner. Aluko has a shot blocked by Zuma, and he is, in fact, going to get the ball back again, I think, Sone Aluko here eventually, after the ball comes back from Robbie Brady. And please tell me, because I still don't know, why Kurt Zuma's run towards him, and then as I've pressed tackle, he's just turned his back and kept going. I'll show you a couple of replays so you can see it again if you missed it first time round. It was a good finish from Sone Aluko, take nothing away from that. But watch the number 5, the centre back here, just closing the ball down, gets to him and turns his back. That was apparently his attempt at a tackle. I pressed B at that moment there, and he turned his back and kept just walking past him. I have no idea what was going on, and unfortunately it was going to cost us a goal. So we're back to 1-1. Just before we get to half-time, we're trying to extend or maintain or retain the lead if we possibly can. But again, a deflected effort is well saved by the goalkeeper, Luis Muriel. He isn't quite able to pick up his second goal of the game, and we had to wait until we got into the second half before we were able to create anything else. And it was poor decision-making from Hull that let us in here once again. Luis Muriel picks the ball up off the Hull defender. Not really too sure why they were trying to play out from the back like that. Great attack on the, or great determination to get to that header from Christian Atsu, because he's only about 3 foot tall. So he did really well to meet that header, jumping up well, but unfortunately played it straight at the goalkeeper. So I made a triple substitution trying to force the issue and get ourselves in front. Willian plays a great ball through the channel to Christian Atsu, and again, another good shot, well saved, and somehow Willian has his shot blocked, and the ball literally just goes straight up in the air, about 30-40 feet up, and unfortunately we aren't able to make the breakthrough, and we stayed at 1-1, so we take a point from a game away at Hull, a game that we really, to be fair, should have been winning. But we come back to the Champions League again. This is the final group stage game at home against AZ Alkmaar from the Eredivisie. Now, when we went across to Holland playing the away leg, they actually gave us a very, very good game, and it was 1-1 in that game as well. And to be completely honest, I wasn't too sure what to expect when they came to Stamford Bridge, because as you can see, they've only picked up 2 points so far from the group stage. We are guaranteed qualification from the group stage, but we needed to pick up a win, and we needed stuff to go in our favour with St Etienne and Schalke for us to finish top of the group and get a perhaps more favourable draw in the round of 16 in the Champions League. But unfortunately for AZ Alkmaar, Petr Cech made a great save early on, which you will have just seen. And then we were trying to force the issue again at our end. Danilo, great strike off the post. Van Ginkel's there to put the ball into the back of the net, but unfortunately he was just offside. Danilo, the right back, in the first instance, is unlucky not to score himself outright, but unfortunately Marco Van Ginkel was just the wrong side of the defensive line, and the goal was rightfully disallowed. So AZ Alkmaar came back at me. They were a very, very physical side. I struggled to get them off the ball, and they were able to move the ball about quite well, and every single time they played a through ball or something, it was just perfectly weighted, so that no matter how much of shirt pulling and elbow digging that I did with my defender, I just couldn't get the ball off them. So we were definitely up against it here, especially considering we don't have the strongest of sides. Defensively we're quite strong in a physical sense, but going forward we've got a lot of small technical players like Lucas Piazon, Alexander Pato, Luis Muriel, Eden Hazard, etc. Willian, to name another. And Marco van Ginkel and Arturo Vidal had their work cut out in the midfield to try and cope with them as they pushed forward. But it was a good strike from the Dutchman there, drawing a good save out the goalkeeper. We'll have another look at that replay because that was a very, very good save. Across to his left-hand side, just about getting there, and it's a strong palm that keeps us out. We stay at 0-0. But Eden Hazard, one of our smaller players, like we've mentioned, trying to do the business down the left-hand side, whips a good ball in. Goalkeeper has to come and do something with that, otherwise we were going to put that into the back of the net. Willian is going to have a shot eventually with his left foot from 30 yards, and unfortunately it just fizzes past the near post. Goalkeeper is confident that it isn't on target, isn't going to trouble his goal, and unfortunately we stay at 0-0. So we're again on the attack though, trying to use a bit of strength through Alex Pato to hold off the defender. Eden Hazard plays in behind, lot of space here, tries to cut it back but can't quite get it back in time, and the defender makes a good block. But we're going to pick up a corner 82 minutes in. This gives us a chance to move our big tall physical players forward, and it pays off. Raphael Varane rises like an absolute salmon and powers a header into the back of the net. A really, really good goal. There was so much brute force behind that header. He just jumped and powered through the defender, got the ball into the back of the net, and we were going to take all 3 points from that game against AZ Alkmaar. Now, I'm not sure what the game resulted in between Schalke and Saint-Etienne, but I do think we finished second in the group because in the round of 16 we've been drawn up against Borussia Dortmund, which is going to be very, very difficult indeed. They, of course, are the team that knocked us out of the Champions League with AC Milan in the other career mode we did earlier on in the year. So it's definitely going to be a difficult time, and by the time we get around to it, but that won't be until February. We have to concentrate on the Barclays Premier League for now because the European competition takes a winter break. But as you can see, we've been knocked off top spot. Arsenal have better goal difference from us, and that draw against Hull has cost us our top of the league status. So we're right up against it as well with a tough game here at home against Everton. And they got off to a good start. Benteke, he's just a fantastic signing for Tottenham to have up top. He gives that extra little bit of dimension, that extra little bit of pace that Adebayor doesn't quite have, and he most definitely was an issue for me when Tottenham were attacking in these opening stages. He had that first effort that went just wide, and then we caught them on the counter-attack from yet another corner. Luis Muriel's got the entire half to himself. I don't know where the Tottenham defence went, and somehow Aurelio Gomez manages to stick out a big curly toe with his left foot and keep me out, and then they get a block in on Andre Schürrle's shot as well. We stay at 0-0, and they came straight back up the other end. Christian Benteke is going to have the ball here, uses his strength to hold off the defenders. Paulinho plays in Christian Eriksen. Unfortunately, his first touch lets him down, so we're going to have to go back up the other end. This was such an end-to-end counter-attacking game in these early stages. Luis Muriel and Eden Hazard linking up well before Hazard tries to use the bit of space he has on the edge of the box to try and whip it towards the far top corner, but it's just not quite accurate enough again. A wasteful chance, perhaps should have chosen to slot through Luis Muriel yet again, but actually, just after that last highlight, Christian Benteke picked up an injury, and they brought on Roberto Soldado, and they just weren't the same side. I'm not too sure whether it's a confidence thing or because Benteke just offers such a different option to Roberto Soldado up top. But much like real life, with Roberto Soldado on the pitch, Tottenham's attack just kind of fizzled out for the rest of the game, and it would have been a much, much tougher challenge to keep them out for the rest of the 90 minutes had they been able to keep Benteke on the pitch. But Luis Muriel and Andre Schürrle link up beautifully here. Schürrle is really unlucky with the outside the right foot shot, not quite able to find the back of the net, rebounds off the post, but very, very similar finish from Eden Hazard as was Luis Muriel's goal against Hull earlier on in the episode. Kind of falling away from him, nice little side bicycle kick, sideways scissor kick to ensure the ball went into the back of the net. Really nice technique on it, and we take a 1-0 lead against our bitter rivals Tottenham Hotspur. We're able to just about get that inside the post. Great finish, and Aurelio Gomez can't keep us out. We go 1-0 up, and now we pushed on into the second half, hoping to increase our lead if we possibly could. Tottenham trying to play some good football, but they just weren't quite able to sort themselves out. Marco Reus rips it away from Michael Dawson, and that is a fantastic finish. Luis Muriel disappointed with the breakaway goal in the first half, or breakaway chance in the first half, but Marco Reus absolutely rifled that into the back of the net. I'll show you a couple of replays because there was so much brute force again and power behind that, similar to Raphael Varane's goal in the Champions League game just a few minutes ago. But what a strike from Marco Reus. The goalkeeper has absolutely no chance with that. It's right down into the corner. It's travelling at like 60-70 miles an hour. He just doesn't stand any chance whatsoever. We take a 2-0 lead, and we're going to try and extend it to 3 here through Eden Hazard if we possibly can. Again, cutting inside, going for that dig, or that shot where he digs it out from underneath his feet, looking for the far top corner, but again, just can't quite find his range. But he did pick up one goal, which set us on our way to a 2-0 victory and all 3 points. So we're very pleased to do so. We skinned the SPUDS We tend to refer to Spurs as SPUDS at Chelsea as Chelsea fans, and we definitely skinned them there. So we get our top of the table place back. We're now back above Liverpool and Arsenal, although Arsenal do have a game in hand, and should they win that, they will remain top of the table. They'll knock us back off again on goal difference. But as for now, we sit top of the table, and that's all for today. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Please do feel free to leave the video a like if you could be so kind. There was, of course, a My Player last night, so check the channel page for that if you missed it. If you missed the last episode in this series, then there's an annotation on the right hand side of your screen to take you to it. If you aren't subscribed to the channel already, then definitely do so. There's plenty of career mode and ultimate team content here. We will have a Road to Glory episode tonight on the World Cup foot game, so definitely hit subscribe either on the annotation on the left or in the description or your normal subscribe button, and there's also links in the description to follow me on Twitter and Instagram as well. But that's all from me for this afternoon. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you later on tonight.